Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for Super Bowl everything. And we're ready. I'm Spitface. Please welcome our host, the First Lady of Sports Talk from chilly South Florida, Cheryl Smith.
Good morning, good morning. I think it's chilly all over the place right now, especially if it's chilly in South Florida. I know it's chilly everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. So I know a lot of Floridians don't know how to handle this. You know, put on an extra pair of socks. But you know what? A friend of mine sent me a video of all the women who can finally break out their fur coats. You know,
exactly.
They go into Walmart. They go into Walmart with a fur coat. But that's all right. Show off, baby. Show off, you know. A couple of brothers I saw with fur coats, too. Show off. All right, this week I'll shout out performances from Rosalyn. Will she find her shining star or get the cold feel of the mute button? First Lady, we're ready. What you say?
Each week we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world, not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdie known as the Seattle Seahawks are happily flapping their wings after whooping the Rams and winning their right to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. Woo! Seattle won, but does that make them the better team, only winning by just 4 points? There were a number of times the Rams declined to go for the field goal. Did that end up biting them in the butt? Sam Darnold proved his critics wrong and had a stellar game. Should the Vikings regret letting him go? Was the game more about the Seahawks' defense or their offense? George Foreman, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, both rest in peace. Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr., and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Look, winning determines basically the team that won that day. And if you won that day, you were the better team. And so the Seahawks were the better team than the Rams for that day. You know, there's an old adage, sports adage, that says a win is a win. And the Seahawks won the game, even though they only won by 4. They were the better team. Now, you can go into different things like as far as upsets or whatever, but no. At game time, the Seahawks were the favorite team to win. So they were the better team, and that's who won the game. Their coaches, their players made the winning plays just enough to beat the Rams. And, I mean, it was a good game. I mean, that was a good game. If you remember, during the regular season, they had one of the best games ever in history. And the Rams won that game, I believe. Yeah, the Rams won that game. So it's not, I mean, to say that the Seahawks weren't the better team because they only won by 4, no, they were the better team. Now, you know, they're saying, you know, the producer said there was times the Rams declined to go for the field goal that ended up biting them in the butt. But I only really, to be honest with you, during that game, I only remember one crucial time the Rams didn't go for a field goal. And that was in the fourth quarter when they was trailing, I think they were trailing by 4 points. And instead of taking a 30, it was the ball's on the 30 or the 31 yard, it would have been not the 30, it was on the 6-yard line. So it would have been a 30 to 31 field goal attempt. And they decided to go for it on 4th down from the 6-yard line. Now, the question was, should they have taken the field goal and be only down by 1 point? It was, by the time it was like 4 minutes something left in the game. So I don't fault Sean McVay for going for the touchdown instead of the field goal. And the reasons why is because Sean McVay knew that his defense could not stop a nosebleed. He obviously didn't feel comfortable with his defense, and they couldn't stop the Seahawks. And it came to fruition because the Rams could not stop the Seahawks on defense when they got the ball back. They actually made 3 first downs in that last drive when they got that ball at 4:54 minutes left in the game. That was the problem, because even if he didn't get the field goal, they were only down by 4 points. But because they couldn't stop the Seahawks offense and get the ball back, that was the problem, and McVay knew that. He knew his defense wasn't stellar, and that's the reason why he decided to go for the touchdown. Now, the problem where he can be critiqued at is the fact that he didn't go to his best receivers during those plays. He got the ball to Puka Nacua just to get to the 6-yard line, but after that, he didn't go back to either Puka, nor did he go to Devontae Adams. I didn't understand that. The first play they did after they got to the 6-yard line was to go to run the ball with Williams. I think I can't remember his first name, but anyway, Williams, and there was no gain. Then he used Mumpfield and threw an incomplete pass to Mumpfield. All right, so now it's 4th down. You don't try to get the ball to either Puka Nacua or Devontae Adams. And I think I'm more using Devontae Adams because Devontae Adams is tall. We talk about as a red zone in the end zone, you need a tall receiver. That's not Devontae Adams special. So how do you throw the ball, an incomplete pass to Ferguson? I mean, are you kidding me? That's why I question McVay and his play calling and the players that he used in that moment. He did not use his best receivers to get a touchdown. So that's what I fault McVay for. I don't fault him for going for it. I fault him for the plays that he called in order to get that touchdown. That was the main thing. Now, Sam Darnold, did he prove his critics wrong? Absolutely. Absolutely. And should the Vikings regret letting him go? No, I don't think the Vikings should regret letting him go. I think the New York Jets should regret for letting him go. That's who I think, because what did they do to Sam Darnold? They vilified him. That's what they did to him. I mean, they did not trust their pick. They picked him, and he actually was a good pick for them, obviously, as hindsight turns out. But you know what happened? The Jets are such an awful organization. They did not know how to use Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, if I'm not mistaken, he went to, after the Jets, he went to the Panthers. He was okay there. Actually, no, he didn't really do well there, but it was serviceable. And then, obviously, when he went to Minnesota, that's when he regained respectability by playing for the Vikings. Now, the problem is I don't fault the Vikings for moving past him, because during the year that they gave Darnold that contract, he really was going to be a bridge quarterback because they drafted J.J. McCarthy. So it made sense for them to move on for Sam Darnold, because he was going to request a lot of money because of his performance that season. And so were you going to pay Darnold that money after drafting J.J. McCarthy as your number one quarterback, and he was drafted at 10th overall? So you're going to end up paying him a lot of money. So it didn't make sense to keep Sam Darnold. It really didn't. So I don't fault them, but with the Jets need to rethink what they did, because they still don't have a darn quarterback after all these years that they drafted Sam Darnold. So It is what it is. But no, I don't fault the Vikings. But Sam Darnold definitely regained respectability. He proved people wrong, proved all the critics wrong. So you got to be happy for the guy. You know, there is a redemption story. You know, he had resolve. So, you know, you got to give him credit. You know, they said he was seeing ghosts at one time. He's not seeing any ghosts anymore. He's seeing the money. So anyway, was this game more about the Seahawks defense or their offense? The game definitely was more about the Seahawks offense. Let's face it, the Seahawks defense did not keep the Rams in check. I mean, the Rams scored 27 points. They had 479 total yards, and 365 of it was passing and 114 rushing. So that defense did not keep the Rams in check. It was about Sam Darnold being able to light up the Rams defense versus the defense stopping the Rams. That's it was all about the Seahawks offense that people probably did not see that coming. And that's the reason why they thought it was going to be, it was still a close game, but that's why people thought that the Rams would have a chance because that Seahawks offense had to play exceptionally well to win this game, and they did play exceptionally well. And they didn't have to rely, well, they did, Walker had a lot of, I think I forgot how many yards Walker had, but it was more about Sam's passing, so that's the reason why. So it was definitely all about the offense. All right, Spitface, what you saying?
Now, I'm looking at it, and just to kind of, I have to agree with you, First Lady, that it was more about the offense. It really was, and I think part of it is that the expectations for the Seahawks defense were much higher than the expectations for their offense. And as it turned out, both teams, really were slinging that ball out there. So both teams' defenses didn't equal what their offenses were doing. And Sam Darnold just said, "Hey, the coach said we're gonna let him go." And what it reminds me of is Sam Darnold's career kind of reminds me of Jim Harbaugh. And the Bears drafted him with Mike Dick as the coach. And I put it like this. Sometimes you're like, oh, man, dude, you done went to the wrong team, And, they kick him to the curb. He looks up and, basically he's like, thrown into the trash heap of the NFL. And he said, his girlfriend left him and she took the dog. So that was low. Jim Harbaugh was in a situation. And he ends up getting picked up by who? The Colts. And his coach says, his coach is watching him and he's like, "What's up, dude? Why you all, conservative and all of that?" And, he's like, "Well, I was on the Bears. This is what they wanted me to do." He said, "Man, let it rip." And the next thing you know, the boys in the Pro Bowl, in the playoff, and they start calling him Captain Comeback, So, for Sam Darnold, it kind of rolled that way. Now, hey, you get the, Baker Mayfield, sometimes you move on and you end up being better wherever you land. Now, so it was probably good he got out of that disastrous organization known as the Jets, who aren't quite as disastrous as the organization known as the Browns. But that's a different. Well, we had to do a flip it on that one. Who's worse, the Browns or the Jets? Okay, but Sam Darnold, he definitely proved his critics wrong, and no, the Vikings should not regret letting him go. They should not, and they looked at it and said, "Look, we actually do trust our first round draft pick. And we were willing to ride with him his rookie season. He got hurt. And we're glad Sam had a remarkable season. But what are we going to do with JJ? Are we going okay, well, we'll go ahead and try to do Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, kind of thing. That can work. Most likely it would. So let Sam fly. And I don't get that the Vikings are going to be hurting with J.J. McCarthy. I don't get that. He got skills. And he got a rookie contract, which will help them immensely. So Sam ain't got no regrets. Vikings ain't got no regrets. Looking at the field goal that they did not go for, it's easy. It has been it's been such a season where so many coaches don't take the points. So we got that collapsed. That didn't happen for probably all the other, the other game it did. And I'll just say that too many coaches are not taking the points when the points are there to take. And Seattle was not only the better team that day, they've been the better team all year. I mean, they lost to the Rams, during the regular season. But who has the better record? Who has home field advantage? The Seahawks. They were the better team. And as you pointed out, First Lady, a win is a win is a win is a win. When they look at the record, they don't go, oh, your record is 13-3 or whatever, but see, you lost that game by 2 points. No, it's wins and loss. And the Seahawks were not on my card to go to the Super Bowl, but hey, they made it. They made it, and they made it in a strong way. So, congratulations to them. That's what I'm saying, First Lady.
That's right. A win is a win. And so you think the Vikings made a mistake in letting Sam Darnold go?
No, I said no. I said no regret.
No regrets.
I said no regret. I said yeah. I said they got JJ. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no regret. Now, whether JJ is going to end up turning out to be a bust, that's another story, because people had questioned them drafting him, but they only went up one slot to get it, because I guess they thought the Jets were going to draft J.J. McCarthy. But, J.J. McCarthy, his offense in college, he played for Michigan. He was not a spectacular quarterback in college. So, but anyway, only time will tell now, when it comes to the Vikings and their decision to let Sam Darnold go. But the Seahawks know now that they got their franchise quarterback for a while. So, and the irony of the whole situation was the Seahawks wanted, oh Lord, I forgot the man's name right now. Went to the Raiders.
Gino.
Oh, Gino. The Seahawks wanted Geno Smith to actually stay and be their quarterback. He chose to leave to go to the Raiders. I guess they're so happy he made that decision for them. Now, I'm not going to say Geno was going to have a bad season with the Seahawks, because he definitely had a horrible season with the Raiders. And but that's just the irony of how things happen in life, and it worked out real well for the Seahawks. All right, Spitface, over to you.
Okay, all right, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom. Explosion, overpowering, over the competition, I'm towering. Wrecking shop when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest that'll all get sliced and diced. Competition paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out, huh? Mama said knock you out, huh? We're talking about the knockout punch to the Denver Broncos' hopes of going to the Super Bowl. Losing by a mere 3 points, 10-7 to the Patriots. given the score, was this a matter of one coach coaching out? One coaching out coaching the other. All right, let's see how that was supposed to go. Is this a matter of one coach out coaching the other coach? Given Drake May only generated 10 points, are the Patriots simply fortunate Bo Nix was injured? Will Drake May be able to match Sam Darnold in a shootout for the Super Bowl victory? Leroy Satchel Page, Walter Buck Leonard, and James Cool Papa Bell are asking what you saying. Well, First Lady, one thing, that was an interesting game. But the offenses were not doing too much. They weren't lighting it up in Denver. And I think that that this was a case where the offenses weren't generating a lot, and it was mainly defenses. But I do think that Peyton had, some opportunities. He had some opportunities, and once those got blown, poor Stidham, was, just out there. Once the opportunities got blown, it was like, okay, you're out there. Because they, given the score, they had a shot. They had a legitimate shot. But I think it does say that the Patriots, I won't say that the Patriots were fortunate that Bo Nix was injured, because there are plays that he would have made with his legs that would have hurt them. And Stidham couldn't do that. He couldn't do that. But then, like I said, Drake May, he wasn't looking like Sam Darnold, Now the conditions were a lot different, of course, but it kind of has me think that if there's any type of shootout in the Super Bowl, Drake might find himself blown out the water. Now, I do also think that Seattle defense, that against the Rams, let's say they didn't rise to the level of expectations. Oh no, this is a different game here. It's a different game. So we will. I'm going to have to say that the Patriots were very fortunate, but they might not be that fortunate in the Super Bowl. First Lady, what you say?
Well, I'm going to put it this way. I would say that Drake May, he was better that day than Jarrett Stidham. Now, there was a lot of controversy regarding Sean Payton and the last play, I think it was the last play before the second quarter, being able to go for the touchdown versus taking that field goal at the time. And this is where I think that Sean Payton outcoached himself more so than Mike Brady outcoached Sean Payton. Because Sean Payton, even leading up to the game, he was telling people about Jarrett Stidham. He was building this man's confidence, and he was hyping him up, and they went to the players, Jarrett this and Jarrett this. And the man hadn't thrown a pass. Was it 3 years? It was a long time for he hadn't thrown a pass, okay, in competition. And that's why I say Sean Payton outcoached himself, because he had hyped the Stidham up so much. He thought he can get the job done to score that touchdown, and that's why he didn't go for the field goal. Now, granted, Stidham played exceptionally well in the first half, so I can see why Sean thought he could get it done. But let's face it, I'm saying that I don't know how true it is. When you're hyped and Stidham was hyped, he was playing on adrenaline. And when you get adrenaline in your body, we all know the stories about people on adrenaline. They can do whatever they need to do. They become superheroes. Well, that's what happened with Stidham. He became superhero because he was playing on adrenaline. And once that adrenaline leveled off in his body, he became the quarterback that he was known for. He's a backup quarterback, and he's always been a backup quarterback. If he were the person that Sean Payton was trying to say, he would have been starting ahead of Bo Nix. So we didn't believe the hype. Sean Payton believed his own hype. And that's why he didn't go for that field goal at that time. And that was a bad mistake. And, the question was, did he had known about the weather conditions? And a lot of the people on the pundits had said, yes, coaches are aware of weather conditions. It's something that's addressed and discussed. So they knew it was going to be bad in the second half. So that's why he should have gone for the field goal. And he actually, he said he regret not going for the field goal. He said he should have gone for the field goal. So I mean, and I'm going to give grace to Jarrett Stidham, because in the second half he was horrible, but Drake May wasn't that great either because of that weather condition. But the thing with Drake May could run with his legs, and that's how he scored a touchdown. And they, when they went on that final, the drive to get the field goal. No, I can't remember. They had the field goal first, and then they scored a touchdown. That's what happened. They scored a touchdown second. And Drake May obviously manufactured that touchdown with his legs. So Stidham really couldn't do that. So, so anyway, but yeah, I mean, it was just bad weather conditions and everything. So were they lucky they didn't have Bo Nix? Let me put it this way. Maybe Bo Nix could have gotten that touchdown to fourth down, but let's not get it twisted. Bo Nix is not that superior to Drake May, so I don't know how the game would have gone. Is he superior to Jarrett Stidham? Yes, he is. He probably could have made the fourth down play. We don't know. But it's not like Bo Nix is this great, we're not talking about Patrick Mahomes here. So, he's ahead of, he's above Jarrett Stidham, but I would consider him to be on par with Drake May. So are we to believe in that second half that Bo Nix was going to be able to do, and all that snow? No, I don't think it would have been the same situation. So, I mean, I think it's a moot point, to be honest with you. He didn't play. We don't know what happened, So, anyway, it is what it is. Now, will Drake May be able to match Sam Darnold in a shootout for the Super Bowl? If I had to pick, Drake May actually is a better passer than Sam Darnold this season. Drake May was passing at a 72% completion rate, whereas Sam Darnold was passing at a 67.7 completion rate. His statistically, Drake's numbers were a lot better. They're very close when it comes to total yards, passing yards, and touchdown. Sam had 25 touchdowns. Drake May had 31 touchdowns. So their numbers were both of them were over 4,000 yards. Drake May had about 300 more yards. So, I mean, those are very comparable statistics. But leading up to the Super Bowl, Sam Darnold has been on fire, whereas Drake May hasn't. So to me, that's the key. Drake May had very suspectable games leading up to this, even in the regular season. So that's why you have to say that Sam Darnold is riding on his wave right now. And so that's, I would have to say that Sam Darnold has the edge. And from the defense, we know how the Seahawks defense is. So if I have to choose, the Seahawks defense obviously is going to be better. And that's going to be a deterrent for Drake May. to see how well he can play. And it just came out this morning, too, that Drake may have an injury. They said that he hasn't been doing full practicing. He's only been doing limited practice because of a possible shoulder injury, like he might have a sprained shoulder. Now, he's going to play in the Super Bowl, but we don't know how significant this injury is. They just kind of reported it this morning. So that's going to be quite interesting because you need Drake May to be at his very, very best in order for the Patriots to win this game. Drake May has to be exceptionally stellar to win for the Patriots to win this game. Because right now everything is leaning towards the Seahawks because they got Sam Darnold, who's right now on a heater. He's been balling. And then that defense, we know what that defense can do. And, the Patriots offense is not like the Rams offense. So therefore, we know that Seahawks defense can definitely stymie the Patriots offense. But that's why Drake May has to be, he has to be like Josh Allen. He has to be Superman in order for the Patriots to win. So that's pretty much all I'm saying, Spitface.
Okay, all right, First Lady. So you say that Drake gonna have to be like that. Drake gonna have to be Superman. We shall see. We shall see. Will he? I know it will start the comparisons to the legend. Because there was a time when the Patriots were the underdog and getting the upset before they went on a tear. Okay, First Lady, you have the last word. Please take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, we have a performance from Rosalyn on Shout Out Part 1.
That music flows in from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Rosalyn.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. We are featuring music from Rosalyn and her hit album, I Love the Music. They say, quote, Roz is an established singer who performs her own songs with an infectious charm and personalized lyric. From opera, gospel, pop, Latin, and R&B, she fully embodies her slogan, quote, feel the heart, hear the soul, end quote. All right, let's hear I Fall in Between.
I don't wanna care about you, but somehow I fall in between. Never would I imagine someone as smart as you could turn a good thing into something that ain't even true, not even true, not even true, no, not even true. Consider other people before you speak my name. You can't turn back the words you put out in the universe. So be my friend, be kind again. Why don't you just be a friend? Because you know I care about you.
All right, that's Rosalyn. Okay, well, I'm going to shout it out. I thought very upbeat tempo, love the lyrics, and I just thought it was a put together production, and her voice is nice, and lyrically, I thought the song was very good, and they said she sings from her heart with her lyrics, so I'm definitely going to shout it out. All right, Spitface, you hitting the mute button, or are you shouting it out?
Well, I gotta go ahead and shout it on out. I'm like, why she falling all in between? What's going on? Something got to get straightened out. She jabbing. So I'm shouting out Miss Rosalyn. I loved her. She was great. Shout it out.
Okay. On part 2 of Shout Out, we'll be featuring another performance from Rosalyn. And speaking of performance, is that the sound of our favorite underwater friend? Is it time for Flip It? Flip It Cole. He's saying underwater.
No one will see. It's why they do. And we are friends, missing a world. Lying there on under the pool.
All right, it's time for Flip It, where our hosts defend the view and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. Mike McCarthy has been chosen by the Pittsburgh Steelers to be their next head coach. We wonder, will he outperform the last guy's performance and get them deep into the playoffs next season? Defend. Mike will be lucky to make the playoffs, let alone go deep in his first season. The Steelers have so much stuff going on that at the quarterback position, that being able to say that he will be able to, in his first year, take them deep into the playoffs, and the quarterback is Aaron Rodgers or whoever, and that's the thing. Who will it be? Mike McCarthy is a great coach. He's a good coach. I think he, his record at Green Bay, a Super Bowl win, and he worked with Aaron Rodgers, are like pluses, but they ain't plus enough that, given that, he if Aaron Rodgers stays, he's not working with a young Aaron Rodgers or even a middle-aged Aaron Rodgers. He's working with that one that has fallen off the cliff and is not quite ready to admit it. So I do think that he may be able to keep the record going as far as not having a losing season, but no way, Jose, will they be go deep in next year's playoffs in Mike's first season. It just ain't happening. First Lady, defend the Steelers will not go deep in Mike's first season.
Well, I disagree. I really disagree with you, Spitface, because I don't even think they're going to have a winning season, to be honest with you, especially if they bring back Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they need to let Will Howard be their quarterback and let I forgot their backup quarterback. He's been there so many years, left and came back. But anyway, they need to let him be the backup. They need to move past Aaron Rodgers, because I was shocked by this hiring, because I really thought the Steelers would have tore it down and start all over now that Mike Tomlin wasn't there, because, with Mike Tomlin, he always had that winning season record, and I guess they wanted to maintain it. But now there's no reason. There is no reason to maintain having a winning record. You're either elite or you're bad. And when you're elite, you stay elite. when you are bad, you stay bad so you can build it back up again. And when you're in the middle, and that's where the Steelers are, they are in the middle, you can't do anything. You need to go and be bad, and that's why I didn't understand the Mike McCarthy hiring. And with this roster, they're going to stay in the middle. Now, yeah, I think they're going to have probably like a 6-8 record. That's the type of record I think Mike McCarthy is going to get. That's what he did when he was within Dallas. If I'm not mistaken, when he was in Dallas, how many times did they get to the playoffs? Did they get to the playoffs that last season he was with Dallas? I think they did, but his playoff record was horrible. Because he was 1-3, had a 1-3 playoff record, with the Dallas Cowboys. He did get there the 3 years that he was there. He did get to the playoff, but they were only 1-3. So I don't know what the Steelers are trying. They're trying to stay relevant, but they don't always have to be relevant. I mean, you do got to tear it down to build it up. And staying in the middle is not what you want, especially when you got a type of coach like Mike McCarthy. He's been he's old school. He can be a quarterback whisperer if that's what you brought him there to work with Will Howard. I really, again, like I said, they don't need to hire Aaron Rodgers back. So I just think they're going to be in the middle, in between, as Rosalyn said.
Oh man,
that's where they're going to be. That's all I'm saying.
All right. They'll be in between. Okay. All right. Well, this is flipped it. So let's flip it. Tomlin had old man Aaron and a banged up team limping into the playoffs. Whether Rodgers is there or not, he'll get that offense flying. They will go deep this first season. All right. And one thing that McCarthy McCarthy knows how to build a team and where they have strength and where the Pittsburgh Steelers has strength is their defense. And now their defense came, they had said was tweeting this year. The defense was not quite as rough and tough, I'll say, as they've been in the previous last couple of years. Now, some say that's because everybody got paid. Not that everybody, I got my contract, but I don't think players really kind of do that kind of stuff. I think it's just more a matter of, injuries and something there on the defense but when you got one of the highest paid defenses in the league, you always got a shot. You always got a shot. And they got one of the highest paid defenses out there. So if they can put together a mediocre offense, which they pretty much do, they'll have a chance to get into the playoffs. Now, given that the Ravens have a new coach, Cleveland will be having a new coach. And, there's some opportunity, in the AFC North, because of the situation with the other teams. Cincinnati, they're always like Cincinnati. Well, what's going to happen with them? So, they'll be in the running to win that division. And if they can win that division, and get a home playoff game, they got a shot. And, whether or not it's Rodgers or Will Howard or somebody else, McCarthy knows how to work with quarterbacks, and he knows whatever's working, keep it working. And for the Steelers, it's the defense. First lady defense. Steelers go deep. Mike McCarthy's first season.
Well, the one issue with the Pittsburgh Steelers all these years have been not having a quarterback. Number 2, a very pedestrian offense. And their defense slipped this year, but traditionally they've always had a good defense. So, I mean, that's traditionally the Steelers always have a good defense. And they got some players, on the defense. So they still got J.J. Watt. So even though he was injured last year. And so I'm not worried about their defense. More so it was about their offense. So that's what Mike McCarthy does. Mike McCarthy.
First lady, when did they get J.J.?
Oh, what's it? Which brother is there?
We got TJ.
I got the wrong brother.
We got TJ. I'll say it. JJ came off the boot.
It's one of those. It's one of them Watt brothers. Okay, I'm sorry. My bad. It's TJ Watt. You're right. There's not no JJ. It's JJ. Been retired. Played with Houston. Never played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. My bad. Got my alphabets mixed up. TJ Watt. They got TJ Watt. So, he's still a stellar defender and edge rusher. So the thing is, it was all about the offense that the Steelers need to fix. Now, Mike Tomlin was not an offensive-minded type of coach. Their offensive coordinator, I forgot who that is, but, he was he's not that great either. So I've looked at Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy offense, he knows how to run an offense. That's right. He has an offensive-minded type of coach. He's done it really well. Obviously, he had good quarterbacks. He had Favre, Rodgers, and Prescott. But he still call plays for himself, so he can be a play caller. So I would expect that the Steelers' offense would have a drastic new look, and it would be better. Now, is Mike McCarthy a quarterback whisperer? He may be. Because let's face it, Rodgers, he made Rodgers look better. Prescott had his best years under him too. So you can say what you want. Obviously, we know about Brett Favre. So the thing is, the expectation is going to be very high. It's going to be, there. Obviously, the Steelers organization and the head of the Steeler Rooney family, they expect the Steelers to still be in contention for playoffs and the Super Bowl. That's their expectation when you hire somebody like Mike McCarthy. So there's going to be pressure on Mike McCarthy, but he's been around. He's a seasoned coach. He understands the expectation. I mean, anytime you could play for Jerry Jones for 3 years, you're pretty good. Because there is no demanding job more so than the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. No demanding job. So Mike McCarthy can take the heat, and that's the heat really comes from the Pittsburgh Steelers fan base more than anything else. But I can see him doing well there, and I just think he needs to turn that offense. If they can turn that offense around, and the defense, becomes a little bit better than they were last season, yeah, they can definitely win a playoff game. They can go deep. I would depend on Mike McCarthy. Just don't hire Aaron Rodgers. Okay.
Leave old man Aaron, go down the river. And move on back to California. That's where you want to be anyway. Okay, First Lady. It looks like DizzieMac has stuck his nose into the studio. Welcome, Dizzy. And First Lady, over to you for more flipping.
All right. A shocker to many of us, Bill Belichick not selected to the Hall of Fame, his first year of eligibility. Did they get it? Did they get this wrong? Spitface and DizzieMac defend. They got it right. Bill did not deserve to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. All right, DizzieMac, defend.
They got it right. Anytime you are attached to two scandals, it's almost like taking steroids. So you're going to have to wait a little bit. I mean, not as egregious as taking steroids, but you are attached to Spygate and Deflategate. So you're going to have to maybe wait till next year and, you know, understand that, hey, that's your ultimate penalty for being attached to that. So they got it right. They know this today's climate. They know what's going on. You know, you might as well just stay on down there in Chapel Hill and build you a team.
All right. He said stay in Chapel Hill and build you a team. All right, Spitface defend. They got it right.
Now, since they had a mixture of peoples, you know, voting on his passage into the Hall of Fame, you might think that there were some folks there who, you know, just kind of looked and said, like in baseball, as Dizzy said, you know, there was like the steroids, and folks got in, but they kind of made them serve a little penalty there. And when you're the coach, now that's where there's a special responsibility. Now, because you're not the individual player, you're the guy that affects the entire organization. And an individual player can do that as well. But also, you know, but the coach, you know, you the top guy of the food chain. You the head man. So you take it all. So and it's not just Deflategate and the other gate and Gateway to Heaven. You know, Bill Belichick was accused of a lot of cheating. You know, it just didn't rise to the level where they would punish him for it. You know, other than, you know, little fines and stuff like that. But so it's kind of like they had a reputation that if there was a way that New England could stretch a rule or just kind of flat out cheat, that they would do it. And Bill Belichick was proud of that. So I think that kind of goes with the legacy. You know, it goes with it. You know, yeah, you know, hey, you know, the Super Bowl wins, the victories, but you know, this ain't the, you know, the 50s where your you know, your antics get overshadowed by the let's say the championships and the victories. You know, them days is kind of gone. Now it's like we want you, but we want all the warts, you know, to be there so that there's a, let's say, honest representation. So they got it right. They got it right, First Lady.
Okay, his reputation, they got it right. Yes, yeah. He was accused of a lot of cheating. I mean, they said that. I mean, they only could really get him for Spygate and Deflategate. And obviously, you know, according to a lot of the members are not really allowed to talk about this, but people speculate those are the two main reasons why he did not get into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. You know, and a lot of people said it was about the system because it was 5 people up for it and only 3 of them could be in. And so I guess, you know, you got so many people voting, everybody was saying, okay, well, we're not going to put Bill in, you know, because, you know, he'll get in another time. But some of these people who had waited a while couldn't get in. So, you know, and, you know, obviously his owner, Bob Kraft, was also nominated in this group. So, you know, they figured it was too many Patriots at the same time. So we're going to put the owner in, and then we'll just let Bill get in next year. So anyway, you can say what you want. They felt that Spygate and Deflategate really sullied his coaching career. And you also have to look at the fact that Bill Belichick was not a nice person either when it came to the reporter. Now we have to also know who's doing these voting. The voting is a lot has to do with the journalists, and you know darn well Bill Belichick did not give a damn about journalists. The journalists. He couldn't care less about he gave those his one tone answer, yes, no. He said very little to the press. So we all know that has a lot to do with a lot of animosity towards him. And those feelings came out when it came for this vote. They say, ha, we got you now, Bill Belichick. You're going to have to rely on us. All them times that we had that wanted more information from you, you wouldn't give us this information. Now, guess what? We got you. And that's basically what these reporters and how they voted. They did not elect him into the Hall of Fame. And for Bill Belichick, he studied the Hall of Fame. He's a student of the game of the football, and he's a walking library. And this is how they were able to get him back. And I think that's what they really did. So but whether or not he deserves or not, he didn't get in. And that's the reason, because I said Spygate, Deflategate, and he was not well liked. All right, but we're going to flip this. They got it wrong. Bill deserved to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Spitface, defend. They got it wrong.
Well, I think they certainly got it wrong. And they got it wrong. And first I'm going to look at what are they going to do with Sean Payton? What are they going to do with Sean Payton? Then what are they going to do with Tom Brady? Because it was especially Deflategate. So he's not, what are you doing? It's not like, I think that the writers, the journalists are making it like it's a situation like the steroid era. And Bill Belichick, if anyone stretched the rules, it was him. But most of the coaches, it wasn't that they were like, they just were, their thing was, we wish we could see those ways that you can stretch the rules that he could, but we couldn't. And it's so wrong because this is hate. As you pretty much said, First Lady, that this was a chance for many of them to get back at it. And just that alone disqualifies you. That disqualifies you. You are not objective. He goes into the Hall of Fame with all the warts that he deserves. But it wasn't like he is not Pete Rose. And again, Sean Payton. Hell, Sean Payton, I think he got he had to sit out a year or something like that. So, that was a big deal. So Sean Payton will not be a first, and then Tom Brady. What are you setting up? They got it wrong, First Lady. That's all I'm saying.
They got it wrong. Yeah, you got Sean Payton. Good. And, what's going to happen with him? All right, DizzieMac, they got it wrong. Bill deserves to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Defend.
Man, what? The man is first ballot Hall of Famer that they got wrong. They got it wrong, and they got it so wrong. Because even if you just take away two of the titles, he's still a first ballot Hall of Fame. If you want to charge him for those two things, Deflategate and Spygate, take away two of his rings. He's still a first ballot Hall of Fame. He's still up there. You can't just pick and choose and want to be punitive towards people that, did something that's debatable. And even if they did, you had a chance to, strike revenge on them right then and there. Again, just like you did Sean Payton, you could have leveled the same penalty against Bill Belichick. But when you rely on the talking heads, people who have never played the game, people who never did anything but just criticize, nitpick, and drink sour grapes, they will not get it right. And as we see, they did not get it right. They're going to always hold a grudge, and make sure that they just be punitive against anyone that is considered top notch. What if they had refused Michael Jordan because he's supposed to have, crapped out at the crap table once too many times and went to go play baseball and did things that, hey, the writers didn't want him to do or care that he did. I mean, again, we're in a society now that, hey, winning the most titles, having great statistics, 500 homers, 330 batting average, averaging 125 runs batted in per year. I mean, but pretty soon those are going to go by the standards of being able to get elected. So, you do something wrong, have a divorce, hold out on your contract, you may be held out of the Hall of Fame for a year at least. So, no, they got it wrong. They got it so wrong that, hey, the bearskin rug curled up on me and said, they got it wrong, DizzieMac.
He said the bearskin rug curled up on you, they got it wrong. I mean, okay, yes, they definitely got it wrong, and here's why. Baseball has a morality clause as a criteria for voting, as a criterion for voting. So when you talk about the people who were in the steroid era, that's the reason why they didn't get in, because baseball has a specific rule that is their character clause. So that's why they didn't get in. But the NFL bylaws, their rules, there is nothing regarding a formal morality clause for members to vote. So why all of a sudden did they decide to use a morality to vote because of issues that Bill Belichick was obviously found guilty of by the league? There's been other players who've been found guilty. Marshall Faulk, he had allegations of sexual harassment. Warren Moon, lawsuit, sexual harassment. He got inducted into the Hall of Fame. We know well-documented drug addiction of Lawrence Taylor, one of the greatest linebacker of all time. His problems, he got inducted into the Hall of Fame. So why all of a sudden
don't forget dope man, Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin. There's plenty of players that had morality issues, cheated, because if you just had problems, arrested, they're in the Hall of Fame because there is no morality clause. The NFL had already dealt with Bill Belichick's issues that he was penalized for. It should not have come into play based off of the rules that they have for the NFL Pro Hall of Fame. So they were wrong. He should have gotten in based off of his record alone. And as you said, DizzieMac, some of the stuff with Spygate, Deflategate, he still went on to win Super Bowls after those incidents. So if you take out the year that those incidents happened, you remove whatever he had won, he still had a stellar record that he can still be inducted into the Hall of Fame. These people have gotten it so wrong, and as you said, Spitface, we're going to wait and see when Sean Payton comes up because, what Sean Payton did was far worse than what Bill Belichick did. Definitely far worse. So, and like you said, Tom Brady is just as guilty. Are they going to keep the best quarterback in the history of the NFL out? I guess so, because they took the best coach in modern times out of the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. And also there's procedural issues because the fact that they had to vote three out of five, that really made a play because they felt like they wanted to put in the old timers that may not come back up again. Regardless of that, that has nothing to do with Bill Belichick. They had to put Bill Belichick in. They should have. Shame on the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Shame on you, shame on you. All right, Spitface. Please take us to break.
I guess First Lady was a little upset with that one. On the other side of the break, we have another performance from Rosalyn on Shout Out Part 2. Please keep your ears glued to those speakers.
Free Mr. Bond.
Welcome back. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout out from the crew. Spitface, over to you.
All right. On the second part of Shout Out, we are featuring another track from Rosalyn. Let's hear the title track from her album, I Love the Music.
So much to take in. It's a sound I wanted to begin my song. Turn the volume maximum. Turn it up high enough. See how it makes you whip up the pleasure of the rhythm, and you can feel when you break it down to the instrumental, quintessential in the quality of sound. Pulled over because I bump so loud. Ain't gonna stop now. Try to catch me and I'll ignore your dial. I'm hypnotized by all the lights flashing around with every move. It's so bright, it's automatic. How I raise the status of everyone around. Drum, the bass that fills up the place.
That was I Love the Music. First Lady, what's the verdict? Because I Love the Music getting a shout out on the mute button.
No, I'm shouting Rosalyn out. I like her style. She's kind of a mixture of old school singing and, she sings songs and, she tells a story lyrically and the production is good and her voice is very good. So I'm shouting her out.
All right. Is there a renaissance going on where folks want to hear folks that sing and lyrics? It's like for what, the first time in like 20-something years, hip-hop and rap didn't crack Billboard's top 40? That's saying something. There's a... Now, I put it like this. There was a time when all you heard on the airwaves was jazz. Now, jazz, and then jazz got overtook by R&B and other, and then it came, but it never, went away. So the form will always do something. I'm just saying that. DizzieMac, do you love the music?
I'm going to give it a shout out. I think as it went on, it kind of came on and, definitely, made it a very, very smooth song, good instrumental music behind the vocals. And, I think it went pretty well, that second, half of the song. So I'm going to give it a shout out.
All right, DizzieMac say the second half just brought him in. And I'm doing this shout out. That was really one of the more well-produced songs that we've received, So now this is the end of shout out for this week. You can check out Rosalyn on the Old Grumpy Radio Network. And if you would like to be heard or have any comments, please send your emails and tracks to talent@oldgrumpyradio.com. First Lady, over to you.
Over to me. It's time for the NFL Pigskin Picks. All right, we down to the wire now. So divisional week, the scores were from the divisional week picks. I led with 100 million points. Spitface, you came in second with a negative 150 million points. And DizzieMac, you came in third with a negative 200 million points. That was divisional week. What? Okay. Conference championship week. DizzieMac. No, actually, Kev led with 150 million points. Spitface, you were second with 100 million points. DizzieMac had 25 million points, and thank God I had 0. I didn't go in the red. So this is where we stand as of Super Bowl week coming up. Actually, well, Kev, he has 151 million points. I got 121.725 points. Spitface, you have negative 25.275 points. And DizzieMac, you have negative 90.
I'm breathing down your neck.
You have negative 95.250 points. Yeah, anything is possible because, these numbers are high when we get to the, and I know we're going to have a lot of prop bets for the Super Bowl. We had a lot of prop bets for the championship. I mean, fortunately I'm just going to say because, those last two picks about who would score first, I lost both of those picks, but I killed it on the 25 million points where the over and under, that's where I made up. So, that's why I was able to get to 0. But anyway, we will see. We shall see how we do. Obviously, we're not going to have any picks for this week because Super Bowl picks will be next week. We're on what? Super Bowl. This is Super Bowl 60? Super Bowl 60. Right, yeah, okay. All right, so what is your top story to watch this week? All right, Spitface, what's your top story to watch?
Do the Raiders hire a rookie head coach? They got to get somebody.
They seem to be taking their time. All the coaches are going away, you know. I'm surprised nobody's trying to hire Raheem Morris. What's going on with that? But anyway, let's move on. All right. DizzieMac, what is your top story to watch this week?
Will Giannis end up in New York or Sacramento?
Well, you know what? That was my top story. Actually, my top story really wasn't about Giannis. My top story to watch this week is all the trade rumors that's going to be discussed leading up to the NBA trade deadline, February the 5th. That's my but Giannis. Well, the Knicks had a chance to get Giannis this past summer, and they decided not to do it. So, you know, we shall see. So the top story I want to talk about for women is Trinity Rodman, the daughter of Chicago Bulls great Dennis Rodman. And she's the forward for the Washington Spirit. She signed a record-breaking league contract worth $2 million for her to stay with the Washington Spirit through 2028. So, you know, this young lady, she's obviously a great soccer player. We know how well she is because she played on the national team, but she's going to stay with the Washington Spirit and sign the highest ever contract for the NWSL League, $2 million. So she'll be getting her contract for $1 million will expire last year, and so this is what she's going to be getting. So, and wow, that's a big payday for her. You know, I'm quite sure her father going to be hitting her up for some money. Let me stop. All right, check out our current and previous episodes at BrasPantiesandSports.com. This is Cheryl Smith, the First Lady of Sports Talk, Spitface, and DizzieMac. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. See you next week.